Mid-range scooters are popular for a reason. They're useful, dependable, and affordable. However, that middle class is changing in 2025. 2025 has been an amazing year for scooters. We tested the Segway 9x G3, Splax Phoenix, new KQi 200F, and now we have the first review in the US of the latest electric scooter from Swiss electric company VMAX, the new VMAX VX2 hub and new VX2 gear. These aren't your typical scooters for commuting. They both offer performance, app integration, and the ability to crush hills. Your boy did the actual testing to get you guys the official numbers, but for you ESG OGs, we also tested it with a lighter rider. I didn't get to unbox the VMAXs because it actually was delivered by a special guest. Okay, so today we have the new VX2 hub and the new VX2 gear, and it's the only two that's in America, and it was delivered by a very special person.
Yeah, since we've got only two of these in the United States, I had to bring them here myself and hand them off. I'm actually gonna miss having these scooters at home with me for a while. But you know, we had to start the US premiere with ESG.
Yeah, and one thing that's great about this is we have Paul, the master, giving us his specs that we can compare with mine, and you guys to see that this actually stands up for, you know, normal riders and also big dogs.
Can't wait to see what you think, big dog.
Oh. Old school, 2024. Now, let's start off with what I think makes these scooters a strong contender right out of the gate. Both scooters come with premium features like cruise control, app support, dual suspension, grippy 10-inch tires, great speed. It's also Swiss designed and at an intro price of $10.99 for the gear and $11.99 for the hub. That's crazy solid value. The faster of the two is the VX2 hub, which is evidenced with its 1900 watt peak power, while the gear has a peak power of 1400 watts. However, the VX2 gear is more of a punchier ride, with the torquier delivery and a slightly softer handling, both perfect for long commutes, bike lanes, and city streets. But you need to know what you're doing when you're riding the gear, and I'll show you later. Both have IPX6 water resistance and is UL certified. Both have the same locking stem and dual spring suspension system. They both have turn signals at the end of the handlebar and below on the deck as well, which is controlled by a rocker switch on the cockpit. Speaking of cockpit, it's laid out nicely, giving you no reason to really look down because the tactile feel of them is so good. When you get the scooter, the display automatically dims. Along with the headlight, it turns on automatically at nighttime. But if you want to control it yourself, you can hold it for 3 seconds to cut off auto mode. And then once you're out of auto mode, you can hit it to switch and you can change the brightness of the TFT display, turn on the headlight, or turn it off. Now let's break down how they actually feel on the road. The official ESG top speed for the VX2 hub is 34 miles per hour, and that actually stays pretty close to what Paul got, which is 34.1 miles per hour, and he's a lighter weight rider. But for the gear, we both got a top speed of 20 miles per hour. And here's our acceleration numbers. Like I said earlier, the hub is faster. 0 to 15, we got 3.84 seconds, and for the gear, we got 4 seconds. It's plain to see that the VX2 hub is faster, but remember that speed isn't everything, and it has to do with more how the speed feels. The gear and the hub both feel calm and relaxed. The hub feels raw and snappy. The VX2 gear has more torque. This is shocking at first, but once you understand the power, it's easy to get used to. I feel more at ease riding in traffic thanks to the hub's top speed, but that's not to say the gear isn't traffic ready. The acceleration is great for moderate stop and go traffic on city streets, but I would take it mostly on bike lanes since it doesn't go over 25 miles per hour. In 9.95 seconds, the VX2 hub went up our 200-foot test hill without experiencing significant power drag. Even though the VX2 gear's top speed was still limited, it was still impressive, taking 10.8 seconds. Now, this test can tell you what to anticipate when you're heading to work, class, or just a long climb to a viewpoint. This, to me, is the most important test of any scooter, and to have both single motors perform outstanding is a huge plus. There's nothing worse than being out enjoying your ride and you get to a hill you can't climb. You won't have this problem with the VX2 hub or the gear. And I also talked to VMAX. They confirmed that the final production version is getting even stronger hill climbing, and I'm pretty confident it'll beat other competitor scooters out there up hills. Okay, I want to give y'all some of my quick riding impressions. Right off the bat, one thing I will say, it's comfortable. It has a real nice solid feel to it. The grips feel really nice. I feel real secure. The stem height could be a little bit taller because I am a tall guy, but the way the cockpit is laid out, you can feel every single button without looking down. Like I know this is the light button, the power button, you know, mode button, left, right. I mean, you know, this is not, the suspension is nice. So many times when I'm doing a range test, I run into a mistake. And the mistake is not necessarily with the scooters, it's just not paying attention to the road. And when I don't pay attention to the road, sometimes it's those cracks. And when those cracks, that's the dangerous part. When you don't see those cracks or those potholes, it can really come back to bite you. But with this one, it takes them so nicely. Like, that goes to the stability of the scooter. I know it's Swiss engineered, but you can actually tell. So whenever you're going over a bump or a speed bump or a manhole cover, it stays solid. It's built like a tank. It's real sturdy, real dependable. Of course, I wish it had more deck space, but it's okay. And I give you this right here. The latch normally stays right here, so when you're riding, it gets uncomfortable at times. But VMAX thought about it, and actually, boom, you can put this right there. So this can actually give you the extra deck space you need to where I just put my back foot up here and I'm comfortable riding. The one thing I wish it had, since I'm riding with traffic, is a horn, because yes, you can ride on the sidewalk, but this one to me is a true traffic commuter scooter to where you will go on the street. So if you had a little bit louder horn besides the bell, that would be nice. All right, so I'm at 21%. So one thing I'm noticing, when you get to 20%, it gives you a red indication. So the battery bar turns red. So I'm not at true 20% just yet, but once I get under 20%, I'll show you guys the bar. We're at a 10% battery left, but it's giving me ups and downs, so 10% to 0. So it's one of those ones that it jumps in percentage. That it doesn't go gradually down to like 10, 9, 8, 7. I've seen that it went from 10. I'm at an indicated 0%, but I'm not really slowing down. I'm just trying to take it easy because it was just at 10% a minute ago and I got to the retesting spot. So I kind of want to just cruise until I get to my top speed area and then hit the acceleration. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah. So it's there. But let's see what type of speed you get. So I'm getting the indicated 20 miles per hour. And I'm not breaking that. So, all right, this is neat. Okay, so now it's time to range test the VX2 gear. I can tell you right now, this one is already torqueier than the hub motor. So let's go. That's too much. Other than the top speed and the braking, you're getting pretty much the same feel from the gear that you get from the hub. So it's not too much to go over. A little bit more torqueier off the line so you don't wheelie out when riding, because you absolutely can when takeoff. Sometimes people like to get carefree with their scooters, like to hit the throttle just a little bit when they're not actually on the scooter. But when you do that with this one, since it's so strong, it'll take off on you a little bit. So really, you just want to make sure you're actually prepared to ride the scooter when you're on it, because once you get on it, foot planted down, and it starts position and go, you're off to the races, and it shouldn't be a problem. Real world use is where range is important. The ESG official range test for the VX2 hub is 23.58 miles, and for the VX2 gear is 19.4 miles. Paul also provided us with certified testing numbers on range. He weighs about 165 pounds, and doing his range test with the VX2 hub, he covered 29.9 miles. And as mentioned in most of my videos, if you're a lighter rider around 160, 170 pounds, you should anticipate having about 10% more range. The VX2 hub comes with a rear mechanical disc brake, and braking feels solid on both. The scooters both have regen braking, but how it's actually delivered is what makes it stand out from other comparable scooters. It's not a one squeeze fit all regen. You can control the regen based on force. You can give it as much force as you want for stopping or as little as you want. But here's the official ESG braking numbers for the VX2s. The VX2 hub stopped from 15 miles per hour in 1.8 seconds, and the VX2 gear slightly longer at 2.4 seconds due to its non-mechanical disc. So who's it for? The VX hub is for you if you want performance and you don't mind traveling at full speed through traffic. It's a good starting point for high-speed commuters, particularly if you're replacing similar price scooters. If you like performance, great suspension, and the best ride for your money, the Swiss design VX2 hub is a great ride for experienced riders. And if you put it in eco mode, it's something any adult can ride. Yeah, other scooters have some nice tech in the app, but you're also forced to use that app. Where the rubber meets the road, the VX2 hub is faster and really one of the best rides out there for the money. And it's the only Swiss design scooter on the market. But on the other hand, go for the VX2 if you like more relaxed ride, live in a more urban area, or simply want something that feels reliable without requiring 30 miles per hour bursts. It's easier to live with, dependable, and somewhat beginner friendly. If you're a big guy and have extreme hills in your life, this single motor mountain goat will climb any hill you find and do it for less money than the new VX2 hub. But after all that said, what does it come down to? ESG recommends the hub versus the gear. Even though the gear is cool, it's a little lighter, extremely torquier, and it's nice to see something different. For $100 more, the increase in top speed, range, better brakes make the hub the better choice in our opinion. The only exception being if you absolutely need to save a little money and keep the weight under 50 pounds, since the gear comes in at 49 pounds versus the hub's 54. Links to both scooters as well as any available discounts, packages, are included in the description below. Stay tuned for more real-world electric scooter tests soon, and let us know which one you'll pick down in the comments. And I'll see y'all later, and I'm out.